Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the body language experts who have commented on the Will Smith slapping incident? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll briefly look at the background in this case, then I'll move to my analysis. At the 94th Academy Awards on March 27, 2022, Chris Rock was slapped by Will Smith after telling a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's lack of hair. Because the ceremony was televised, there's a good amount of video available. We can see what the people were doing before, during, and after the attack. This has led several self-proclaimed body language experts on social media to evaluate the main players at the ceremony. One can think of body language as being divided into two categories, intentional and unintentional. The intentional signs are obvious signs intended to communicate thoughts and feelings. These are deliberate behaviors, like someone laughing, smirking, rolling their eyes, frowning, shaking their head as if they are indicating yes or no. There is no skill required to analyze these obvious signs. People intentionally communicate using body language all the time. This communication is widely understood. The unintentional category is based on this idea that there are subtle nonverbal clues which can reveal how someone is thinking or feeling. Essentially, these are automatic responses, like a person crying when they're sad or breathing more rapidly when they are angry. This isn't revolutionary. It does not represent new information. Automatic responses to thoughts and feelings have existed for thousands of years. One area of the unintentional category that is often discussed by the so-called experts is deception. Can these automatic responses reveal when somebody is lying or acting? Is the person's body language giving away information about secret intent? Many so-called experts claim they can figure out if somebody is lying based on a single gesture. In theory, the value of body language experts is to tell us something that we don't already know. They can interpret these hidden signs and reveal thoughts and feelings that are under the surface, including information a person is intentionally trying to hide. Interestingly, these so-called experts don't spend a lot of time doing this. Their analyses mostly comprise simple observations about obvious intentional and unintentional body language. First, I'll go through several items regarding the nature of body language interpretation, the behavior of the so-called experts, and what research tells us about this industry. Then I will analyze the observations of the Will Smith slapping case. Item number 1, the technical name of the field of interpreting body language is synergology. Unfortunately, it is popular in many places, not just on social media. One of the most disturbing areas is in the criminal justice system, where so-called experts claim to read the minds of defendants, witnesses, lawyers, judges, and jury members. It's not clear how much damage these people have done, like perhaps someone has been falsely convicted because of this nonsense. Item number 2, here I will list a few examples of gestures which are supposed to contain secret meanings according to these body language experts. Scratching one's nose means that the person decided not to say something they wanted to say, so this indicates some type of restraint. Presenting the left side of one's face to an audience means that the person is trying to create a bond with them. Presenting the right side of the face indicates distancing and rigidity. Tilting the head to the left is a sign of empathy, affection, and submission. Tilting the head to the right is a sign of unhappiness, vigilance, and dominance. A number of items supposedly indicate when a person is trying to be deceptive. For example, if they hold eye contact too long, if they refuse to make eye contact, if they cross their hands and legs, or if they scratch the front side of their neck. When looking through various videos on this topic on social media, one can find almost any gesture connected to almost any emotion. There is really no rhyme or reason. It's almost like it's just random. These so-called experts make up whatever they want. Item number 3 is the source of this magical knowledge. Many of the body language analysts say they gain their amazing ability by learning secrets over the years. They must be pretty well hidden secrets because they don't appear in any credible source. No legitimate field hides information. Science is based on the open sharing of data, theories, and results. When someone claims to have a secret source of information, that often means there is no source of information. Which brings me to item number 4. Body language analysis is pseudoscience. It has been repeatedly studied in peer-reviewed literature, and the conclusion is clear. There is no way to predict what somebody is thinking or feeling based on nonverbal behaviors with any acceptable level of reliability or validity. A specific gesture cannot be tied to a specific motive, emotion, belief, or thought. Just like there are many verbal languages, there are many nonverbal languages. There is no universal nonverbal language. Everybody is different. Some nonverbal behaviors are tied to specific emotions, but the association is not strong enough to make predictions. Furthermore, there is the problem of signal-to-noise ratio. Even though some nonverbal behaviors may be meaningful, many of these behaviors don't mean anything at all, or they can have different meanings depending on the circumstances. The self-proclaimed experts interpret every behavior as meaningful. Therefore, they are interpreting the noise the same way they are interpreting the signal. There is no way to distinguish the noise from the signal. They don't know how to tell them apart. They never just look at one particular gesture and say, well, that one doesn't matter. That's not important, but this one over here does matter. Again, every gesture is always regarded as important from their point of view. Item number 5, the vast majority of conclusions of the so-called experts are based on the outcome of a situation. These people look at an event, they see how the event ends, then they take everything that happened in the event and tie it to the ending. All the body language magically predicts what actually happened. The significance they assign to the behavior is based on the known outcome. It would be much more convincing if they could predict behavior without knowing the ending. But they never seem to be able to do that. Item number 6, self-proclaimed body language experts often speak with a tremendous level of confidence. Many people just assume that they know what they're talking about, but nothing could be further from the truth. I think much of their success is dependent on the fact that people tend to believe others. The default position of many people is to think that other people are being truthful. Why would somebody lie? Why would somebody make up information about being able to interpret body language? In addition, the subject matters that the so-called experts address are often of great public interest, like the Will Smith attack. People really want information about the motivation, feelings, and thoughts related to that event. What was Will Smith feeling? What was Jada Pinkett Smith feeling? Did Jada send a nonverbal signal to Will that caused him to attack? Was Chris Rock afraid? Did Chris Rock want to retaliate? There is no way to know all the feelings and thoughts tied in with the case, but these so-called experts come in and pretend they figured it out. They have found the secret knowledge. Item number 7, some have argued that body language analysis is harmless. It's like when people watch videos by astrologers, psychic mediums, or when they watch CNN. The audience knows that these people are not telling the truth. They watch the videos for entertainment value only. One could also compare this to gambling at a casino. Statistically, the house will always win, but the gamblers are just trying to have fun as they play the games. They understand that they will eventually lose the money that they are gambling. This is an interesting argument that body language analysis is harmless, but I think there is a danger anytime someone is led to believe something which is untrue. All these people who invest in body language analysis will make decisions in real life. They will work as managers for various companies. They will vote. They will serve on juries. It is dangerous when people believe they have magical powers. Now moving to the Will Smith slapping case. I watched several body language videos specifically on the Will Smith attack. Here are a few of the observations made by these self-proclaimed experts. Jada Pinkett Smith was initially looking at the stage with her head tilted to the side. making her neck vulnerable to attack, like she was relaxed and comfortable. This all changed after the attack. I don't think anybody worries about being attacked on the neck at the Academy Awards, no matter what's going on. The real concern is being attacked on the face. I also find it interesting that, although her head was tilted to the right, she wasn't described as being dominant or vigilant. Again, we see a lot of inconsistency about what gestures are supposed to be important with this behavioral analysis nonsense. Moving to the next observation, Chris Rock exercised confidence by having his hands behind his back before the attack and self-restraint when he returned his hands to that position after being slapped. Of course, Chris Rock was confident and exercised self-restraint. This is not new information. Everybody could see from his intentional behavior that this was true. For example, he did not defend himself when Will Smith attacked him. His hands being behind his back may or may not have anything to do with that. He may simply feel comfortable standing that way. Another Chris Rock observation, Chris Rock's eyebrows elevated after the attack, indicating surprise. It's not clear what value this statement actually provides. Of course, Chris Rock was surprised. Something happened to him that has not happened to any host in the history of the Academy Awards. Was it really his eyebrow movement that broke this case wide open? Did anybody really hear this observation and think to themselves, I had no idea Chris Rock was surprised, but now that I know about his eyebrows, the mystery is solved. Now moving to the Will Smith observations. Will Smith had his legs crossed prior to the offensive joke, meaning he was comfortable prior to becoming violent. I find this interesting because the legs being crossed is also supposed to be a sign of deception, yet this isn't brought up. Will Smith was angry after the slap when he sat back down, as indicated by him pronouncing and yelling each word distinctly and the tension in his face. During his acceptance speech, Will Smith was sweating because he was under stress, and Will Smith needs help because his behavior was not normal. Again, all these observations are obvious and completely worthless. What value does behavior analysis add above and beyond what is already known? This is not to say that nonverbal behavior is unimportant, rather that it must be considered in combination with all other available evidence. It represents one component of human behavior. There is no reason to elevate it to some mystical level and pretend that it reveals secret knowledge. Moving to my final thoughts. There's something intriguing and exciting about solving a mystery. When empirically valid methods reach their limit as far as helping people understand a construct, people often turn to pseudoscience. This is a world where logic, critical thinking skills, and evidence have no meaning. It's a fantasy world where anything is possible. This environment attracts people who make supernatural claims while pretending their abilities are grounded in science. It's a dishonest, harmful, shallow, and empty pursuit. The only amazing ability these so-called body language analysts possess is the power to waste people's time. Those are my thoughts on the body language analysis controversy in the Will Smith case. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis as intriguing as a man standing with his hands behind his back, with his head tilted to the left, as he thinks about scratching his nose. Thanks for watching.